India has delivered a strong and unambiguous message at the United Nations, calling out the dangerous politicization of religion on the global stage. In a pointed intervention, India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Parvathaneni Harish, exposed Pakistan's repeated attempts to weaponize faith for political gain, while underscoring India's pluralistic ethos and commitment to equal respect for all religions. We have a report. At a time when global forums are increasingly witnessing selective narratives around religious discrimination, India chose to confront what it termed as a growing misuse of religion for geopolitical agendas. Addressing the UN, Ambassador Harish Parvathaneni directly challenged Pakistan's long-standing attempt to project itself as a victim of Islamophobia, calling out what he described as fabricated narratives designed to deflect attention from its own troubling human rights record. India's intervention comes against the backdrop of repeated efforts by Pakistan to internationalize issues related to Jammu and Kashmir and raise allegations against India at platforms like the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, claims that New Delhi has consistently rejected as baseless and politically motivated.
My delegation strongly condemns violence and hatred in the name of religion, regardless of the religion under question. As a nation where followers of virtually every major world religion coexist peacefully, and a nation that has given birth to 4 major world religions, namely Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism, India, more than any other country, is acutely aware of the need for a world free from religious discrimination. The philosophy of Sarva Dharma Samabhava, implying equal respect for all religions, has been the civilizational way of life for India and one that inspired the secular ethos of the Indian Constitution.
Backing its position with facts, India highlighted its own diverse social fabric, home to over 200 million Muslims, making it one of the largest Muslim populations in the world. Unlike Pakistan's sectarian fault lines, India pointed out that its Muslim citizens actively participate in democratic processes, elect their own representatives, and contribute across sectors from politics and judiciary to business and culture. In Jammu and Kashmir as well, India underscored that elected representatives from the Muslim community continue to be an integral part of governance, countering Pakistan's narrative of alleged marginalization. Turning the spotlight firmly on Pakistan, India raised critical questions about its human rights record, particularly the systemic persecution of the Ahmadiyya community, who continue to face legal discrimination, social exclusion, and violence under Pakistan's constitutional framework. The Indian envoy also flagged the forced deportation of Afghan refugees, a move widely criticized by international human rights organizations, as well as ongoing military operations, even during the holy month of Ramadan, exposing what India termed as blatant hypocrisy in Pakistan's claims of defending Islamic values.
History bears repeated witness to how the politicization of religion does not solve and resolve grievances. However well-intentioned, they risk lending legitimacy to precisely this kind of selective, polarizing narratives that breed further division. The United Nations was conceived as an institution that transcends religion, culture, and politics.
India further cautioned against narrowing global discussions on religious discrimination to a single faith, warning that such selective frameworks could deepen divisions rather than resolve them. New Delhi reiterated that global efforts must address all forms of religious intolerance, what it described as religiophobia in all its manifestations, rather than allowing political interests to dictate the narrative.
The United Nations' greatest contribution to peace and human dignity lies in its efforts to maintain international peace and security, bringing everlasting peace in conflict situation, its development work and humanitarian action, and its promotion of universal human rights, work that is conducted without regard to the faith of those it serves. Global public goods, like sunshine, should be available to one and all, irrespective of affiliations.
India's strong rebuttal also comes amid growing global scrutiny of Pakistan's internal instability, rising extremism, and its continued use of religion as a political tool, both domestically and internationally. By contrast, India positioned itself as a model of coexistence rooted in constitutional values, democratic participation, and centuries-old traditions of pluralism. The message from New Delhi was clear. Attempts to malign India on religious grounds will not go unanswered, especially when those raising such allegations struggle with their own record of intolerance.